Hi, good morning, students. Hope we all are keeping fine. Today, we are going to start our fourth lesson, Algorithmic Strategies. What is algorithmic strategies? The way of defining an algorithm is known as algorithmic strategies. How we create an algorithm? It is known as algorithmic strategy. First, let us see what is an algorithm. Many times we have come through algorithm and we have learned the definition of algorithm. An algorithm is a set of instruction to accomplish a particular task. It's a finite set of instruction which is used for completing a particular task. In other words, we can say it as a step-by-step procedure for solving a given problem. How do we solve a problem? Usually in maths, we solve lot of problems. We cannot attain the result by jumping over from first step to last step. So there are some procedures to be followed. So same way, algorithm is the way to get a solution. Where can we use this algorithm? Algorithm can be used in any programming language where we have to find a procedure to solve a problem. In such programming languages, we can use algorithm. What is algorithmic strategy? The way of defining an algorithm is called algorithmic strategy. How do we define an algorithm? The way we define an algorithm is called as algorithmic strategy. What are the characteristics of an algorithm? There are lot of characteristics for algorithm. First one, input. Zero or more values can be supplied. Any number of values can be supplied, even there may not be any value. Output. At least one value is produced. When we get an output, at least one value or more value can be received or seen as the output. Finiteness. Algorithm must terminate after finite number of steps. Only countable number of steps can be there in algorithm. Maybe 5, 10, 15 or 100, like countable number. Definiteness. All operations should be well defined. What we are going to do, what operation is going to be performed, that should be clearly mentioned, defined. Effectiveness. Every instruction must be carried out effectively. So whatever instruction we are giving in an algorithm, each and every instruction should be followed. Correctness. The algorithm should be error-free. Since in a programming language, we follow the algorithm. If there is an error in the algorithm, there may be a possibility of having error in the program also. So the correctness of the algorithm is very important. Simplicity. Easy to implement. When we write an algorithm, it should be written in an easy way so that it can be implemented very easily. Unambiguous. Each of its steps and their inputs and outputs should be clear and unambiguous, must lead to only one meaning. Means we should not have any confusion. There should be no doubts about the steps or their inputs or outputs. It should give you a single result. That is the only expectation of an algorithm. Feasibility should be feasible with the available resource. So where we are going to implement, according to that, maybe the hardware, software. So according to those things, the algorithm should be designed. Portable. An algorithm should be able to handle all range of inputs. What kind of input we are giving? Almost all the input should be handled by the algorithm. Independent. An algorithm should be independent of any programming code. So an algorithm, what we are designing, should be able to use any programming language. So it should be an independent algorithm. Who is an algorist? One who practices an algorithm is called algorist. A person skilled in design of algorithm and algorithmic artist. So who is an algorist? A person who practices algorithm, who is well talented in algorithm, designing the algorithm is known as an algorist. So like as we say, doctor, nurse, engineers. So one who is well versed in designing the algorithm is known as the algorist. What is an algorithmic solution? An algorithm that yields expected output for a valid input is called an algorithmic solution. So the final result of an algorithm is known as algorithmic result or solution. Now let us design an algorithm to find square of the given numbers and display the result. So here we have an algorithm with finite number of steps. Only 5 steps are there. Step 1 is start. Step 2, get the input x. Step 3, calculate the square by multiplying the input value. That is square, we know that the formula is x square or side into side. Step 4, display the result square. Step 5, stop. So we are getting a value x, maybe we can say it as 2, and we have to calculate the square. We know that side into side. So 2 into 2 is 4, and we have to display the result square. Square is also a variable which is used for displaying the result. So this is the way to define an algorithm. So an algorithm is having a finite number of steps, and it should be simplified and it should be given in a very easy manner so that anyone can understand the algorithm. Differentiate between algorithm and program. So now let us see what is the difference between an algorithm and a program. Algorithm helps to solve a given problem logically, and it can be contrasted with the program. Program is an expression of an algorithm in a programming language. So algorithm is a way to solve a problem, and the way to express that algorithm is a program. Algorithm can be categorized based on their implementation, methods, design, techniques, etc. Program should be written for the selected language with specific syntax. So algorithm can be designed or it can be categorized in two ways: implementation method and design techniques. While program is written with the specific syntax which is suitable for that program. Algorithm can be implemented by structured or object-oriented programming approach. So algorithm can be implemented by structured or object-oriented programming approach. Program should be written for the selected language with a specific syntax. There is no specific rules for algorithm writing, but some guidelines should be followed. So there is no such guidelines or some procedure which should be followed, but some guidelines are there. Program is more specific to a programming language. Program is always dependent to the programming language. Algorithm resembles a pseudocode which can be implemented in any language. So algorithm can be implemented in any language. What is an algorithm analysis? An estimation of the time and space complexities of an algorithm for varying input sizes is called algorithmic analysis. So when we are writing or designing an algorithm, two things are very important. One is time and space complexity. So finding those two things is known as algorithmic analysis. How we find it, how much time will be taken, how much space is required. These two things are analyzed in an algorithm estimation. So it is known as algorithmic analysis. What are the phases in analysis of algorithms? First one, a prior estimates. Second one is a posterior testing. Prior estimation is a theoretical performance analysis of an algorithm. It is used for testing the efficiency of an algorithm. So two things, theoretical performance and efficiency is checked in the prior estimation. Posterior testing. This is called performance measurement. Running time required. These are the two things which are tested in the posterior testing. One is performance and the other one is running time. What is complexity of an algorithm? The complexity of an algorithm gives the running time or the storage space required by the algorithm. How can we say that an algorithm is more complex? Is that with the help of two things, we can say that an algorithm is complex. One is the running time, how much time it takes. Second one is the space required by the algorithm. Okay, thank you students. Have a nice day. See you in the next class. Bye.